So I think that there are actually more enlightened people in this world than you might think. And yeah, it might seem that on the path to enlightenment, you know that you need some sort of teacher and that's very important. And I'm sure most people, if they're on a spiritual path, they've read books and from enlightened masters. But they want to be in physical proximity to one. And people often wonder, well, I think I often wondered, like, how many enlightened people are there? I heard things, people say there's like 10 in the world at any one time or something like that. Maybe because we live in so-called Kali Yuga right now, you know, and maybe there were more spiritual masters back in the day when there was a whole kind of caste related to it. And but now, there's less of that, more people just working and they can devote less time to kind of spiritual endeavors. But actually, I think there are more enlightened people than we might think. One, because there's actually many billions of spiritual and religious people in the world. Maybe only a fraction of those actually have a serious spiritual practice. Um, and I think most people either they might not even recognize that they're enlightened or have some levels of spiritual advancement. Um, but to know that they exist, we would have to kind of know them either through kind of writing or through media or through actually knowing them personally. And I think that's quite unlikely. And I think actually, yeah, so enlightened people, they might not even know they are. And if they do know they are, they're not necessarily gonna go and say this and that. Even like for example, you look at Buddha and Jesus, like they both became famous in their own country, but probably outside of their own country they weren't that known. And so yeah, I think it's like that with many masters, even the ones that have like extensive writings and people have written about them and people know them, they're still only a limited reach. And I think the same applies today. Yeah, like for example, Nisargadatta Maharaj, the book I Am That, it was only written because someone kind of, a disciple came and then they wanted to write and they had to like listen to them and copy down what they were saying. So, Nisargadatta Maharaj didn't necessarily want to write a book. I think it was just that someone kind of was willing to write one themselves about that person, and same like Ramdas and Maharaji, and yeah, I'm sure same like Dogen's writings. It was monks that wrote it down, and so yeah, there's a limited reach even in the age of the internet when so many things are accessible. You can only uh, read so much, and um, so yeah, I think there are many more than we know, and I have this theory. There's that yeah, every for like a spiritual person, they like support, like they kind of balance out so much of the negativity in the world, and but like their power, the light power is way stronger, and yeah, I believe that, and I think that's why we are anyone that practicing as a bodhisattva, and they're doing good for the world just by practicing and um, yeah, saving the world from themselves, and making the world a better place. So yeah, so that's what I think. I think there's many more, and yeah, you should take heart in that, knowing that the world is full of those people. But I think it's still a rare thing. Like it's still an amazing thing um, to get to that level, and yeah, super important.